Okay, thanks, Kathy. I think culture starts from your philosophy, and your philosophy has to be something that you've either grown up with, you've been mentored with, you've experienced, and it's something that it forms a basis of everything that you do in coaching. For me, I've coached both men and women in college. I've coached probably about 33 years. Division 1, 2, and 3, JC. The only thing I haven't coached is NAIA. My biggest thing, I think, is that for every team, the very first thing you start with is what you are about, what you expect from them, what kind of a team you're looking for. I have never changed my team from division to division. I have not changed my philosophy from men to women. I may change my coaching style depending on the needs of those students at that time, the academic needs. But my philosophy basically involves a couple things. One, that they have fun. It's the number one thing. Two, that they grow as people. I'm probably not putting this in any specific order because I think that it changes, year to year, but maturity as a person. Tennis does that on the court. I don't think I have to sell that too much. I think the kids in my program sell that. So for me, when I meet someone, it's you're going to have fun, you're going to mature, you're going to be a better player in person when you leave this program. And I think probably the thing that I like to leave them with, especially when they're looking at my program in terms of being recruited, is that they're going to have lasting friendships. Friendships that will last forever. They'll be family. You'll always have your family, but your tennis family, your kids that you play with, your teammates, will be there for life. You will remember those experiences you had on road trips with friends and all those things that you did on the court, what you learned about people, how you reacted to people, how you grew on the court, how you grew unselfishly to be able to give. I think those are the lessons that they come out with, and I know that because when I see them 15, 20 years later with their own families, to me it makes me cry because it shows the growth that they have and as a person and what they're now using in their own families and their own lives. The philosophy of my program starts with those three key things: fun, maturity, and lasting friendships. And those are the things that I try to translate, not how good the team is or how much we win or lose or what All-American was this year or that year. It really doesn't matter. Those first practices in that doubles creates that kind of a family unit in a sense. And it doesn't create the tension that most practices and I think the first practices create, which is tension. That's a bad scene, and that's probably from my past. I hated that I had that in college tennis, and I always thought that I would never do that as a coach. But from those practices grow then friendships, grows relationships, respect, and I think then what you can do then is then put them on the court. I talk to the team about attitude, effort, enthusiasm, energy. Words that are all active words. Words that they have something to do, they can do something about in terms of their ability to create a great practice that particular day. That I basically create my practices really with a plan in mind, but at the same time I'm always adapting to what's going on in their life. So I'm very sensitive to, especially college kids, what happens to them on that particular day. Now, does that mean that I change the whole practice to make it easy because someone's had it tough? No. But that may change who I'm having them hit with. That may change what kind of drill, may change the goal of that drill. Building teams to me have been at team dinners, on team trips. Prior to the team starting season, we always will do some kind of a fun thing. Now, my kids at this particular campus are on campus a lot, so what we do is we take a hike. We'll go on a hike. Most of them are complaining half the time. I find out straight away who's complaining. We do this thing with buddies and no whiners, and anybody that says anything that's a negative thing, we put them in the back of the line. I think the team bonding thing is probably the number one thing for a women's team. Number one thing. The number one thing for a men's team is mutual respect. Having coached them for 7 years, and I coach guys to a national championship, not of my doing, but just putting them into sort of a disciplined, formal setting for coaching, which they had never had. This was at Cal Poly Pomona. Is that they found structure and they found someone that cared. But the biggest thing that I found for men in a team bonding thing was that they had mutual respect because that they could all give something. And that's a huge thing with males. With females, it's friendship. It's not so much a position in the lineup, which it is with men, but it's really the friendship and what kind of a person is she. The one thing also that I say right off the bat, especially for women, is that there is no drama on our team. Anybody has a problem with anybody else. This is said on day one, first meeting. If anybody has a problem, so if Kathy and I have a problem, you deal with it straight on with the person. If you need a mediator, you know, it's assistant coach or myself, you don't involve other people and it doesn't become a team drama. For women's tennis, I hate to say that, but it does become a drama, but in the same sense, it becomes a drama on a men's team. So thinking that that's only a women's problem, that isn't. It's actually, in a sense, a bigger drama because the men don't like to talk about it. Again, these are philosophical beliefs that you have that translate into every practice and every match play that you have. If you tell them that winning is not the most important thing, then damn it, you better not be, when they lose a match and they've tried their guts out, you don't become the person that is screaming at them at the end because they did the best that they could. You have to remember that you have to keep things very consistent. And I think that's what happens with a lot of coaches. They change their personalities because of the team. You don't. Your team is different, but your philosophy, and that's why people can trust you.
Great, Coach. You're off the hot seat.
Thank you.
Thank you.